Hey everybody, Miss GoElectric here, and today I'm at the Indian Springs Metropark in White Lake, Michigan. This is a beautiful park that has a ton of features. Playgrounds, a splash park, sports fields, and trails galore. In front of me, you're gonna see I have a Vtuvia SF20 folding fat tire electric bike. Let's do an unboxing and then review it. Before I open this box, I want to point out that on this side there's a giant hole in the side of the box, and it has been damaged during shipping. Hopefully the bike is safe and sound inside, but we'll check that in a minute. On the other side of the box here, I want to point out that there's a QR code that you can scan. I really like this because it gives you easy access to scan the QR code and it'll take you right to the assembly video of the Vtuvia SF20. Time to open it up. There's one box right here on top, so let's take that out and see what's inside. All right, I have my user manual in here, my pedals, a quick release for the front tire, a toolkit. There are some bolts and washers. And here is the charger. This here is a 2-amp charger, so it will charge up the SF20's 624 watt-hour battery in about 5 to 6 hours. I'm gonna place everything back in this small box, set it aside, and then we can pull the bike out. I'm really impressed with all the padding on here. Let's take it all off. Before I unwrap it anymore, I'm gonna take the battery out and start to charge it. It's really nice and convenient because it has a handle on the battery, so you can pull it out really nice and smooth.
This e-bike requires a key to turn it on and drive. I like this setup for security reasons, but I wish it was in a visible spot in front of me instead of behind my seat.
It looks like after taking the headlamp out of the packaging, there's a big scrape on here. All right, now that I have all the packaging off, I'm gonna mount the handlebars and then the wheel.
Vtuvia offers a 2-year warranty and a 15-day return policy. They also have free shipping across the US, and if you want to buy one and you live in Canada, that shipping will cost you $200. Delivery of the bike will take between 3 to 8 days. The SF20 is priced at $1,379. You can choose from 4 different paint color options, including shiny red, coral, pure black, and white like you see here.
I have the wheel on, now it's time to put the fender on. I really like that this bike already had the back fender and the rear rack already installed, so this is going by really quick. Now that the fender is on in the front, I'm going to put these pedals on, adjust all the brakes and the shifting and the computer here on the handlebars, and get my seat situated. Then we'll talk about accessories. Well, it looks like in this kit they didn't provide a small enough Allen wrench for tightening up the computer on the handlebar. So I'm going to use my own tool. Every SF20 comes with a rear rack, the integrated headlamp, tail lamp, and the fenders, which I think is just amazing to have at this price point. And Vtuvia sent me some extra accessories because they know how much I appreciate versatility. So first they sent along a cargo bag that goes on the back for the rear rack, and they sent me a front rack as well. I'm gonna install this next. Well, on the top of this bag, it includes a rain fly to keep it dry. And on the inside, there are some dividing pockets and a strap so I can take it off and take it with me. There's a lot of space in this bag, and the dividers really help it keep organized. I could bring a lot of tools with me to help repair my bike on the go, my Fantech X8 Apex inflator, so if I need to pump up my tires, or I can even bring things for a picnic and food. There's a lot of space in here. Now let's put on the front rack. See these two bolts here? Well, I need to take those off in order to install the front rack. I was able to get the bottom two off, but these are just too tight. I'm gonna have to use an impact wrench in order to get those off.
We installed without the top bolts at first. We later tried an impact wrench, which didn't work. Ultimately, we sheared off the bolt heads with a grinder and inserted new bolts. The factory may have fastened the bolts while the paint finish was still wet and adhesive.
In order to use the integrated headlamp with this front rack, I need to unplug it from the bike, and then they sent along this extension so I can run it underneath this part of the front rack and assemble it on the very front of that. Although I appreciate this Velcro sleeve's flexibility, I do wish that once these wires started coming down the bike, they were integrated into the frame. And as you can see, if you follow them all the way through to the back, it even connects up to this rear tail lamp. And that brings me to my next point, which is this bike has an integrated headlamp and tail lamp, so it pulls its power from the battery on board. Other e-bikes that I've reviewed have rechargeable headlamps and tail lamps, so you have to remember to take them off the bike and plug them in, or they don't have any lights at all. Now I have my seat in the appropriate position, and I just want to point out this saddle is nice and wide and it has a lot of extra cushion, so I think it's going to be really comfortable. Next up, I want to check out my tires. These are Kenda fat tires that are 20" by 4", so they're nice and wide tread. Now typically a fat tire like this, you don't have to fully inflate them because the tires act somewhat like a suspension. So I'm going to check on those and then figure out how much I want to inflate them. Alright, it looks like on the side of the tire here it says to inflate anywhere from 5 to 30 psi. I'm going to set it to 20. These fenders here are made out of a really thick plastic and they have a little bit of flex to them. Other fenders that I've had or seen are a little bit too brittle and they can potentially crack, so these feel like they're going to be really durable. This here is an aluminum frame, and Vtuvia says it can support riders anywhere from 5'3" to 6'2". This also has a payload capacity of 330 pounds. As far as form factor goes, this step-through design makes it really easy for people to get on and off. It's also a folding e-bike, so if you're like me and you own an EV and you don't want to put this on the back of your car and compromise any range loss, you can fold it up and put it inside. As you can see, this folds down pretty compactly, but it's still a really heavy bike. It's 70 pounds, plus the battery is an extra 10 pounds. So although I can lift it up and into my car and it should fit in pretty much any vehicle, it is going to be a little bit of a task.
There are dimensions of the SF20 on the Vtuvia website when the bike is unfolded and ready to ride, but I could not find the dimensions of the bike when folded. I roughly measured a length of 36 inches, a height of 30.5 inches, and a width of 26 inches.
Something I want to point out is that the chain ring has 2 chain guards on it, so either side is protected and it seems like it's not going to slip off, and that's important because when you're folding it or you're trying to lift it and move it around, it stays secure. When I was installing the front fender, I noticed on the side of the front suspension that this has up to 100 millimeters of travel, and that's a lot for a little bike like this. Well, we're ready to ride, so let's hit the trails here at Indian Springs Metropark. I'm going to start off just in manpower mode, so I'm not using any pedal assist, and as you can see, this is doable to pedal the bike even if I ran out of battery. But it is a lot of work and I'm in a low shift point, so let's take it up to pedal assist 1. All right, that's not much of a difference between pedal assist 1 and manpower mode, especially up the hills. Let's take it up to pedal assist 2. Now, wow, that is a lot of extra power. So I feel like the minimum of riding this bike is gonna be in pedal assist 2 because you actually feel like you're getting some power. I'm going about 13 miles per hour in pedal assist 2. This is pretty good power delivery. I am noticing though that since these tires are extra thick and really knobby, they're making a little bit more noise on this paved path than I'm used to. Let me take it up to pedal assist 3. Okay, that's a good extra push of power. I could see this getting up to speed real quick in pedal assist 3. Let me bring my shifting up to 7th gear. Very smooth Shimano Tourney gear set. I'm going 23 miles per hour already. I am going down a little bit of a hill, but this has great power on pedal assist 3. I'm gonna take it up to pedal assist 4 now. And an even better push of power. Easily 27 miles per hour right now. And I'm in the top shifting point. All right, I'm in pedal assist 5 now, and I'm in the 7th gear. I'm still getting quite a bit of resistance, but now my legs are moving. I'm hitting 29 miles per hour, so it seems like this bike is gonna be able to hit up to 30 miles per hour, making this a class 3 plus.
Vtuvia says the safe top speed for the SF20 without pedaling is 20 miles per hour. They claim the original top speed is 25 miles per hour without pedaling, but up to 28 miles per hour when pedaling. I've found that even on a flat surface, this bike can get up to at least 30 miles per hour.
I'm stopped here because I want to do a full throttle test. So I'm in pedal assist 5. I have a half twist throttle on the right. I'm going to pull all the way back, and I'm not going to pedal. Let's see what the top speed is on this thing. All right, I'm already hitting 20 miles per hour. 25, 29, 30. Woo! All right, looks like the top speed is just about 30. This is one of the most comfortable saddles I've ever reviewed. It's extra spongy, soft, feels really great, and it has some springs on the back of it, so it's definitely absorbing a few of the bumps, although I've just been on this paved path. We'll have to test it out on a trail, see how it's absorbing. All right, so I wanted to try to get this SF20 out on more off-road style trails instead of just a paved path. So I have it out here on a trail that has quite a bit of deep roots in it, so we can really test out this suspension. So far, I definitely feel a lot of travel on that front fork. And I'm just in the first pedal assist, so I'm going slow around here because it's kind of tight. But I'll kick it up a little bit. Test this throttle up this hill, it's pretty steep. Whew. Well, that was easy. Looks like it dead ends here, so I gotta go back down now. Ooh, definitely need to break in these brakes. Quite squeaky still. In something tight like this, I would keep it on a lower pedal assist level because you don't want too much power when you're coming around these turns. It's a little dangerous, especially if you can't see around the corner. I really like and appreciate when a bike has so much utility and versatility. So I can take it wherever I want to go even if it's off the beaten path. These grips I really love because they have this texture on the end of them, so if my hands get a little sweaty, there's still some grip there, and the end of the handle is a very wide paddle style, which I like because that thicker part of my hand is resting there and it isn't getting sore. I think a bike this powerful and this heavy should have hydraulic brakes. This one has mechanical, and although it's getting me to a stop just fine, I would feel a little bit more secure with the hydraulic brakes. I like the riding position. I feel like I'm sitting a little bit more upward. I could see this being a good commuter style bike because it goes really fast. It's up to 30 miles per hour, so I could keep up with traffic. Well, that was a fun ride, but let's talk about this bike now. As far as the things I like about this bike goes, for one, I'd have to say the front suspension. It has so much travel and really provides a comfortable ride. So does this saddle here. It's very thick, it has extra springs on the back of the seat, so it gives me that extra suspension in the rear. And this is really one of the most comfortable e-bikes I've ridden. The SF20 has an insanely quick motor. It's 750 watts and you can definitely feel it. It gets up to 30 miles per hour and that's impressive, which really makes this bike extremely versatile. I can take it on pavement, the knobby tires are gonna let me go on any kind of terrain, and I love the fact that I could fold it up and put it in the back of my car. The front rack, the rear rack, and the bag also provide a lot of extra versatility. And I even found today that I was able to store a lot of my extra batteries and camera gear right in this bag, which was super convenient. It's a big deal to me that fenders and the integrated lights are standard. I think that should be the case on all e-bikes. Now let's talk about the improvements. And this step-through design is very functional, but the design is not very inspiring. And I can see the raw welds on the bike all the way around the frame. As I pointed out before, the wires are all exposed, which they could potentially get caught on stuff, and it's just not sleek as far as design goes. As far as range goes, Vtuvia says the SF20 will get anywhere from about 23 miles up to 48 miles of range. And I'm tracking 11 miles on my odometer and half of my battery. And I had a full battery when I started. So it will get maybe about 20 miles or so. I was riding it pretty hard. This bike is very challenging to fold. And I have other folding e-bikes that really are easy and don't require a lot of effort to fold them in half. Whereas this one, I feel like I have to add a lot of extra strength just to get it folded. Overall, if you can get past the design and the weight, I think for under $1,400, this e-bike is an incredible value. It's very comfortable, extremely powerful, and you can fold it up and put it right in your car. You don't need a bike rack. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you plan on buying a Vtuvia SF20, then please consider using the link in the description below. Vtuvia will help support the Miss GoElectric channel if they find we're helping their customers find the right bike. If you'd like to see more reviews like this, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing. Well, until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.